Thank you. Andrea, has anyone signed in for public comment?
Yes, one person. Lou?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
The weather is getting nicer, and it seems like the whole atmosphere should be cheering up. However, with the current situation, we have been struggling due to our economies and the pandemic. Lots of people's lives are still in the dark. Finally, we got ARPA funds, which will help county to make some improvements. However, the current method definitely will ensure the funding will go through the conventional channels to all the usual suspects. So a couple of days ago, I found out in the shelter, just for example, our executive actually announced that there will be funding to improve the buildings and certain things. However, look at the situation here. You still have a service provider not actually paying attention to repairing and maintenance. The things can still broken over the weekend when people are all in the building in need to use all the facilities. Then, if we really truly want to increase the privacy, then think about the basic human needs first. Are we even getting those things fulfilled? No, not yet. Having privacy is good. However, you do have all these bad workers there playing with the rules. So for example, the existing workers should be the one to teach, help to train the new workers. But guess what? When I try to get my lay play, you guys have heard me having troubles with the food, just getting the food. Don't even say the quality of the food yet. These new workers, after they have learned like a few days with the existing worker, they sit there. One of them was actually using FaceTime, some kind of FaceTime mechanism talking about family member. The other one is also playing on the phone. When I asked them to get a late play, which I signed up for based on the rules, these people had totally no clue what that means. So what kind of learning they learn from the existing workers? So if you do have workers like that working in the facility, doesn't matter, it's county jail, homeless shelter, psych ward, treatment inpatient center, all these kind of places, they are supposed to help the people, the most vulnerable population in this community. But the way they do things is completely opposite, making more obstacles for people to struggle through whatever they have to go through. Then do you think this ARPA funds will really serve the purpose? I don't think so. It will be wasted. Those people would just get the paychecks again without doing their jobs. Is that really good for everybody? Sure, homeless people probably we die together first, then instead of we thrive together. But that is not the purpose. We are here together to talk about all the improvements that we actually need for everybody. Thank you.
That concludes the public comment portion for this meeting.
All right, thank you, Andrea. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented on our agenda?
So moved. Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor of approving the minutes say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the minutes are approved. Announcement from a message from our county executive.
Thank you, Mr. President. We in Cuyahoga County government were always looking for ways to support our employees, to improve recruitment, and to improve retention, and to enhance the economic well-being of our employees. This is especially true today when businesses and governments all over the place are finding it so tough to find and hire qualified employees. To address these issues, we're asking Council to approve a tuition assistance program, which will enable employees to enhance their job-related skills and create paths to success. Beginning in the fall semester of this year, full-time benefits-eligible county employees who have completed one continuous year of employment can participate in this voluntary program. Baldwin-Wallace, Cleveland State, and Cuyahoga Community College are the current participating educational institutions, each selected through our RFP process. County employees can be reimbursed up to $3,600 per calendar year for either undergraduate study, graduate study, or individual credit granting seminars. This does not include the cost for books, fees, lab charges, mileage, travel, or room and board. Classes and the overall degree need to be related to an employee's current position or a probable future assignment. Supervisors must review and approve the coursework and classes before an employee applies for reimbursement. To seek reimbursement through the program, participants must achieve a C grade or better for undergraduate programs, B or better for graduate programs, and a pass or completed for seminars. Employees who separate from county employment within 3 years of receiving tuition reimbursement will be required to follow a repayment schedule to the county. We know that programs like tuition reimbursement can build a team of qualified staff and improve productivity. Most important, this program will encourage our employees to improve themselves and reach their goals. This is a win-win for everyone. I look forward to seeing county employees take advantage of this opportunity. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Legislation introduced by council, committee report, and consideration of a resolution of council for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0105, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. Resolution 2022-0105 was heard in the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee on May 6, 2022. Albert Bouchahine presented revisions of 2 classifications. Both are routine class plan maintenance and the deletion of 1 classification. The deletion proposed was Business Analytics and Project Management Specialist that was created by the HR Director in 2017 and has never been filled. The committee voted unanimously to approve this resolution that is now in its 3rd reading adoption. I ask for your support of this resolution.
All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Resolution is adopted. Legislation introduced by executive. Consideration of a resolution for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2022-0128, amending the 2022-2023 biennial operating budget for 2022 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations from the general fund for appropriation transfers and cash transfers.
Move to adopt. Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution is the regular fiscal agenda of budget amendments. Answers to questions that we sent to OBM are on your desks. After presenting the resolution, I will move a substitute. Most of the items are routine appropriations and closeouts of grants and other routine appropriations and transfers. Notably, $2,150,000 is appropriated from the Casino Revenue Fund, $1,500,000 for the annual contribution from the Casino Revenue Fund for the Housing Trust Fund, $75,000 for the Humane Deer Control Program, $175,000 for the Ridgewood Golf Course Clubhouse replacement, and $400,000 for the Chagrin Falls Fire Station. $1,250,000 is appropriated, including $250,000 for the Challenge Loan Program and $1 million for a Loan Loss Reserve Program. These are programs to stimulate community reinvestment in housing, developed under the leadership of Vice President Cheryl Stevens and the Community Reinvestment Advisory Subcommittee. I now move to substitute. At the request of Council President Jones, the substitute removes appropriation item H, the $10 million opiate innovation fund, which will be referred to committee for extensive discussion. I ask for a second and recommend passage of the substitute and then passage of the resolution as substituted.
Second. Sweeney?
It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the proposed amendment? If there's no discussion, all those in favor of accepting the proposed amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Now, at this time, all those in favor of adopting the resolution on its merits as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Excellent. This item H will be referred, which appropriates $10 million from the opioid mitigation fund and refer it to the Finance and Budgeting Committee. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2022-0129, confirming the county executive's appointment of Valerie Katz to serve on the Cuyahoga County Natural Resources Assistance Council for an unexpired term ending October 14th, 2023.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2022-0130, confirming the county executive's appointment of Dornat Drummond to serve on the Cuyahoga County Diversion Board for the term March 1st, 2022 through February 28th, 2025.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2022-0131, confirming the county executive's appointment of various individuals to serve on the Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board of Cuyahoga County for various terms. Appointment for the term July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2024, Gabriela Celeste. Appointment for an unexpired term ending June 30th, 2023, Daniel Kelly.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2022-0132, authorizing a state contract purchase with the Safety Company, LLC, doing business as MTech Company, in the amount not to exceed $905,461.72 for the purchase of one replacement Dynavac straight jet truck and 2 Q's TV trucks for the Sanitary Division.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0133, making an award on requisition 8964 to Katz Construction, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $2,974,258.50 for rehabilitation of various roads. Authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award for the following roads: Green Road from Euclid Avenue to South Corporation Line in the city of Cleveland, Ivanhoe Road from Euclid Avenue to East 152nd Street in the cities of Cleveland and East Cleveland.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0134, making an award on requisition 8508 to Smith Group Architects and Landscape Architect, PLLC, doing business as Smith Group, PLLC, in the amount not to exceed $1,146,857 for professional engineering design services for the Beulah Park Euclid Beach Connector Project, commencing upon contract signature of all the parties through December 31st, 2023.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0135, authorizing a grant award to Cuyahoga County Board of Health in the total amount not to exceed $2,900,000 to support various mission activities commencing upon agreement signature of all parties for a period of 3 years.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Resolution 2022-0136, authorizing an agreement of affiliation with Crime Stoppers of Cuyahoga County, Inc., to recognize and designate said organization as the official Citizens Reward Program for Cuyahoga County for a period September 15th, 2021 through September 14th, 2023.
This item will be referred to the Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee.
Resolution 2022-0137, authorizing the issuance and sale of health care and independent living facilities refunding revenue bonds. Series 2022, Eliza Jennings Senior Care Network, in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $55 million for the purposes of currently refunding bonds previously issued by the county, funding a debt service reserve fund if required, and paying certain costs of issuance, providing for the assignment of revenues for the payment of those bonds.
This item will be referred to the Economic Development and Community Planning Committee. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution 2022-0117, authorizing a partner funding agreement among City of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County, Cleveland, Cuyahoga Port Authority, and Northeast Ohio Area-Wide Coordinating Agency in the amount not to exceed $2,500,000 to provide matching funds for eligible construction phase activities for the stabilization of the hillside abutting the Cuyahoga River at Irishtown Bend.
This item will move to the June 7th, 2022 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0119, making an award on requisition 6906 to PCs for People Ohio, LLC, in the amount not to exceed $19,382,136 for the deployment of broadband services in Cuyahoga County, commencing upon contract signature of all parties for a period of 3 years.
This item will move to the June 7th, 2022 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution
Council
20
President? Yes. In regards to this one that was just read, this came up before the Economic Development Commission last week, and one of the topics was that, just as will be with the next item, periodic review was suggested so that this is a 3-year program so that we could actually see what happens at year 1, year 2, and year 3. It was brought up at the Economic Development Commission, and everybody agreed, including the presenters, that would be an appropriate thing to be monitoring. So I just throw that out as a suggestion, even though it's not an amendment to this.
All right, Councilman. Thank you.
Resolution 2022-0123, authorizing a grant award to Fund for Our Economic Future of Northeast Ohio in the total amount not to exceed $9 million as fiscal agent for Workforce Funders Group for various workforce development activities commencing upon contract signature of all parties for a period of 3 years.
This item will move to the June 7th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Mr. Chair,
Councilman Miller?
I would like my name added if it's not already on there.
All right, let's add Councilman's name. Consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of suspending the rules say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2022-0121, confirming the designation of Joyce Huang to serve as the alternate to Mayor Justin Bibb on the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission, representing the Cleveland region for the term January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. Resolution R2022-0121 was heard in the Human Resources Appointment and Equity Committee on May 17th, 2022. It was recommended that this appointment of Joyce Huang to serve as the alternate to Mayor Bibb on the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission for a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2024. Per the ORC 713.22a, Joyce Huang must be approved in a separate proceeding than the actual member, Mayor Bibb. The committee unanimously approved this appointment for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. I ask for your support of this resolution.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2022-0122, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Fairfax Renaissance Development Corporation for lease of office space located at 8111 Quincy Avenue in the city of Cleveland for the period June 1st, 2002 through May 31st, 2022, to extend the time period to May 31st, 2027, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $5,888,550.
Motion to adopt.
Second, Sweeney.
Mr. President, this is extending a current lease for an additional 5 years. This is coming 100% out of the county's HHS levy fund. It's 63,000 square feet of usable space, and the county can reduce the amount of rented space pursuant to the terms of the contract as the contract progresses. The building is in good shape per Public Works, and the county's been at this location since 2002. And the continuation of this lease will allow for services in this neighborhood to continue. And this was presented by Mr. Myers, John Myers, on May 18th, 2022. I would ask for my colleagues' support on this moving along.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0125, authorizing a grant award to Greater Cleveland Food Bank in the amount not to exceed $5 million to construct a new and expanded food distribution center in the city of Cleveland's Collinwood neighborhood and to renovate the current facility located at 15500 South Waterloo Road in the city of Cleveland to serve as a one-stop shop for critical wraparound social services and support effective upon contract signatures of all parties for a period of 1 year.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, there are many families in Cuyahoga County that still need COVID relief, returning back to work or locating new employment, reestablishing their customer base, child care, and other issues that may have developed due to the pandemic. This $5 million grant is a necessity for the well-being of families in Cuyahoga County because it will serve, as stated in the legislation, as a one-stop shop for critical wraparound social services and support. This contract and presentation was heard in committee on May 18th and fully vetted, so I ask my colleagues for its support and passage.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0126, making awards on requisition 8476 to various providers in the total amount not to exceed $9,397,121 for the Comprehensive Case Management Employment Program, Employment, Education, and Training Services for young adults for the period April 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023.
Move to adopt. Thank you. This item was heard in the Education, Environment, Sustainability Committee meeting last week, and as it states, is funding for Youth Opportunity Unlimited and a new vendor to be able to provide those services for younger adults, and then on the older side with Verge. So we welcome them on board and ask for your support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2022-0127, authorizing an amendment to contract number 228 with the Metro Health System for correctional healthcare services for the Cuyahoga County Jail System for the period May 9th, 2019 through May 8th, 2022, to extend the time period to August 8th, 2022, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed in the amount of $10,600,000 for a total not to exceed amount of $55,927.40.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this was heard in safety last week. A little bit complicated, but those costs are spread over the life of that contract, and the recommendation is adoption by the committee.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Committee report in consideration of a resolution for third reading adoption.
Council President?
Yes.
Can we go back? I just want to clarify the total not to exceed, $55,927,040. I think I said 40 cents. Just wanted the clarification to be known.
55 million.
I'm sorry, 55 million.
All right.
$55,927,040.
All right, thank you for the clarification.
Thank you.
So again, committee report and consideration of a resolution for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0113, adopting the annual alternative tax budget for the year 2023.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this is a routine resolution required by the state of Ohio. Because of recent debt retirements, we are able to increase the inside millage allocation to the general fund by 1/10 of a mill to 1.10 mils, and reduce the allocation for general obligation bond retirement by a like amount to 0.35 mils. The Finance and Budgeting Committee unanimously recommended passage on third reading.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Committee report and consideration of an ordinance for third reading adoption.
Ordinance 2022-0003, providing for an amendment to the Cuyahoga County Human Resources Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual to create a tuition assistance program to be applicable to all county employees.
Move to adopt. Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, I would like to introduce substitute ordinance and adopt the substitute ordinance that is before us.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Dale.
All right, so we've had a first and a second on the proposed substitute. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I would like to explain. It's been in our committee, in the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee, and as introduced, a county tuition assistance program, and if approved, this program will be incorporated into the Human Resources Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual. As was said earlier, in the current working environment, talent acquisition and retention have become vitally important. Cuyahoga County is not alone in facing well-documented issues regarding attracting talent, and the concerns are more pronounced in the essential areas, as we all know, in the county operations of Sheriff's Office, HHS, and IT Department. This program allows county employees to seek educational opportunities that will further their development within the county's employment structure in return for the county's financial contribution for a portion of the tuition bills. The employee must agree to remain employed with the county for a specified period of time. The county needs to be innovative in its efforts to make employees not just want to work here, but want to remain here. So before us proposed is a substitute ordinance. At the Human Resources Appointments Equity Committee meeting on Friday, May program and its operations. She was thorough and responsive in her comments and responses. After the committee meeting, Director Marshall, with the assistance of our law director, amended this language to address the county's enforcement options should a participating employee not comply with all aspects of this policy. This new language is included in this proposed substitute ordinance. As I said earlier, we must seek all opportunities to properly staff our county departments with competent, qualified employees. We have conducted job fairs for correction officers and increased salaries for essential employees. This tuition assistance program is one more effort to make Cuyahoga County a desirable place to work. But I would really like to make sure that I express my appreciation to Director Marshall, who worked very hard on this legislation and did her best to answer all of the questions that we proposed to her. And she is here along with the law director to answer any questions any colleagues would have.
Councilwoman Simon?
Yeah, thank you. I first want to thank the executive for bringing this forward and his attention to education in the county as a way to lift us all up. So thank you, executive. The question I have with regard to this substitute is the language added for enforcement of, those employees who leave within, shorter time than what's required. And it says that the county may make an appropriate deduction. My question is, why isn't that may a shall? If somebody leaves without being able to pay back that which was given in terms of tuition, why was there a decision to make that discretionary rather than mandatory to deduct what they owe when they leave?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to take a shot at answering that. I mean, what this does is there's any number of ways that we could recover the money. We doesn't necessarily have to be from a deduction from their final pay. They could agree to pay it at the end of the day. So we just wanted to make sure there was the flexibility there to implement a deduction if we had to, if there was some other option didn't work.
Okay, yeah, they could hand you off a check at the end of the day. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Councilman Schron.
Thank you, and I want to congratulate also the county executive for putting forth a program of this nature. I think it puts us in a competitive situation. I'm supportive and would like to have my name added to it because even though I don't generally put my name to the legislation if I didn't actually do work on it, but I'm committed to this in my own personal life, and I think it's just the right thing to be doing. The only question I would ask is we go back and review at some point. I think 3 years is a long time. Hopefully we're getting our money's worth over a lesser period of time. 18 months is the number I've generally seen, so I would only suggest that we review that as time goes on. Hopefully we're getting, the intent is that somebody's doing something meaningful to the county gets a benefit, the employee gets a benefit, and it just seems like 3 years is an awful long time out there. So I would suggest that we review that and find out what marketplace is, because I think the marketplace is probably closer to an 18-month for that in the future. But I'm supportive of it because it's step one is good in putting the program in place. I would love to have my name on it. And step two is then review exactly how it's working. Thank you.
All right, let's add Councilman Schron's name to the legislation.
Mr. President, can I have my name as well?
Add Councilwoman Simon's name.
Mr. President, if you could add my name as well. It's a very worthwhile venture. Thank you.
Councilman Scott Toombs. All right, is there any further discussion? If not, all those in favor of accepting the proposed substitute, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And now at this time, all those in favor of adopting the ordinance on its merits as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the ordinance is adopted. Miscellaneous committee reports. Are there any committee reports?
Mr. President.
Councilman Miller.
My colleagues, because of the Memorial Day holiday, Finance and Budgeting Committee will not meet at the next regular time, but will instead meet at the following regular time, which is on Monday, June 13th at 1 p.m., to discuss the Opiate Innovation Fund that was referred today and the final capital numbers on the ERP and perhaps an additional item or two. Thank you.
Mr. President, Public Works will meet at its regularly scheduled time next Wednesday morning.
Mr. President, the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee will meet on Tuesday, May 31st at 10 o'clock.
Mr. President, safety, Tuesday, 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Mr. President, the Economic Development Committee, also because of the Memorial Day holiday, will not be meeting on next Monday. I do hope that everybody, as a veteran, recognizes that the importance of that holiday for us as a country. We will be working on finding an exact committee date that works best for everybody else's schedules. I don't want to announce it here without checking with all the committee members.
All right, any other reports?
President, Health and Human Services will be held on Wednesday, June 1st at 1 o'clock.
All right. Any other reports? That's it. All right, at this time, is there any miscellaneous business?
Yes,
Mr. President.
Can I add my name to R2022-0117?
Add the councilwoman's name.
Mr. President.
Councilman Miller.
Mr. President, I just want to note that tonight is Michelle Pomerance's last council meeting with us, and I just want to say that Michelle has been truly a pleasure to work with, has done many significant things for Cuyahoga County, has never done anything other than kept the best interests of the county in mind in everything that she's done. And I just want to say, besides all that, you've been a good friend, and I want to wish you the very best of success as you move along.
And I'd like to say the same. I had the opportunity to meet Michelle before she was here in the county, and and we were dealing with the education, with Cleveland, and how passionate I was about that, and she was right there, rock solid, and I said, I got an ally right there, and with our educational needs. And then when the executive brought you on board, I said, well, we've got a great one right here. So we appreciate all the time you've given us, and just wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Michelle, it was wonderful working with you and meeting you. Just as we were getting comfortable with you, and we were getting very comfortable with Dave Greenspan not being here, now you're going with him. So good luck on that one.
Mr. President?
Yes, Councilwoman.
It's a pleasure, Michelle, and I'm not going to cry. Has always been a hard worker, and everyone that knows that, especially the children at CMSD schools, as well as the mayors and everything that she's brought in the county. And it's not goodbye, because I look forward to continuing to work with you in your new role at Metro Health Hospital. She will still be working with HHS.
Thank you.
Mr. President, please add my name to 0125 and 0126. And I also wanted to say to Ms. Pomerance, congratulations. I'm so proud that you took this opportunity to be courageous. I know oftentimes we can be very comfortable where we are, and you could have stayed here forever, and we wanted you to, but we are so proud of you. And like Councilman Conwell said, it's not goodbye. You have always been exactly who you said you were, and I'm so proud of you, and I love you.
Mr. President, if I may?
Councilman Toomer?
Okay.
I think we're all saying the same thing.
There we
are. Michelle, good luck in your new venture. And thanks for always being straightforward and a straight shooter from the hip. And we appreciate that and your forthrightness and integrity in what you've done. And good luck in your new venture. And like everyone said, it's just a different gig. That's all. But we'll see you soon.
That's right. Thank you.
Yes, and if I may too, Michelle, I've really gotten to know you chairing the HR committee, and our engagement was always such a positive way of making sure that the right people get appointed and that those people get vetted, and we really thank you for your work in doing all of that. Lots of people have come through the Human Resources since I became chair, and it was a pleasure to get to know all of them, and all of them went through you first. So good luck to you. I know you'll do well, and I'm sure we will see you soon again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. To Michelle Pomerance, just want to say thank you for being one of the only people that can put me in my place when I need to be put in my place. And we're all having a love fest here for you. Do you have any parting shots for any of us?
I do. I'd like to come up to the front, though, if you don't mind.
Wow, what a bold move. I'm going to excuse myself, I think.
It's a good thing we have this glass up here.
This is all Marty's fault,
I was trying.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Oh, well, first of all, this was a little bit of a surprise, so I don't have anything too prepared, but I just really wanted to thank each and every one of you for giving me this opportunity. I will forever treasure the opportunity to have worked in service to Cuyahoga County and specifically to each and every one of you. I also want to make sure to thank Nan specifically for being able to work on our committee as well as Mike and our time at Human Resources Committee, and of course Yvonne and Meredith and Sunny. All of you have just taught me so many great things. Anytime I called, you answered the phone. If I had something that I needed, you were so supportive. Council President, I know we've known each other a long time. It's only fitting that I was able to be at the CTAG event today and kind of get re-energized in some of that work as well. Yvonne, Meredith, Sunny, just anytime, you all have my cell phone number. It's not going to change. I would like to take this time also to thank the council staff. I know Jim and Joe and Trevor, I've probably driven you crazy a little bit. Andrea, same thing. Just want to thank you all. Same with Ashley, Janine, and everybody at the council. Just really, it's just really humbling for me to be able to say thanks again. Thank you.
Council President, I didn't have a chance.
Yes.
Oh, just good luck, Michelle. We'll miss you. Yeah, I know you will do a good job there. And just as a side note, I want to be added to 0125.
All right. All right. Is there any other miscellaneous? Armin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll just add, you all said what needs to be said, and I appreciate that. I've worked with Michelle for more than a decade. Our first big effort was working on the Cleveland plan, where the help that Michelle gave me and gave to the city was invaluable. When this position opened up, I was thrilled to be able to bring Michelle in. And as you can tell from her remarks, I think she liked working with me, but she loved working with all of you. And that she made clear every day. So the county administration, we will all miss you, Michelle, at least in this role, but we won't miss you because we'll be seeing you around. So thank you, Mr. President. Nope.
Right. Did I see a hand?
The miscellaneous?
Yes,
Thank you. I've been pondering doing this or not, but any public comments on your decision regarding the Port Authority appointment? Because I was getting a bunch of phone calls over the weekend and for the last week. So,
Do I have any comments?
yeah,
No, I don't.
you know.
Any public?
Oh, no,
Anything else?
that's it? Because my constituents have called me and asked me to explain what you sent out.
I can give you some offline advice about how to respond to your constituents if you need a little help.
You want to go?
Is there any other miscellaneous business?
I'm
No, I
not,
move we adjourn.
All right. So at this
No, we-
time.
we have
report-
another item.
Report by clerk on legislation withdrawn at request of sponsor.
Resolution number 2022-0124 was withdrawn at the request of the sponsor as regarding the following result. Metro Health and the county's benefit consultant finished the calculations and found that Metro Health savings did not exceed the benchmark. Thus, nothing is payable in calendar year 2022. Therefore, this amendment will be introduced at a future Board of Control meeting to extend the time period. No additional funds required.
Right. All right. If there's anything else to hold our attention, without anything else, this meeting is adjourned.